Hey, this is Gerry Visca, the publisher of Defyeneurs, and welcome to the Top 50 Health and Wellness Tips. This is the August 2016 fall issue, and man, are we excited! We are live with our featured cover story, Maureen Hagan of London, Ontario, and we're just going to get right into it. So, Mo, I am really excited about this live interview, and I just want to get into when did you first realize that health and wellness was important to you?
As far back as I can remember, I started school and I was always pursuing anything to do with health and fitness, whether I really understood what I was venturing into or not. And it stems from being a hyperactive kid. And I believe it stems from even the day I was born when I was told I was going to be the small, premature, sickly one. And I believe that was my message and calling right there, to prove people wrong and show them that size, age, ability doesn't matter. It's about your attitude. At least that's what my mother told me when I screamed and yelled.
I love that you share this energy of it being an attitude, and you're a real definer, Mo, and I just love that about you. You're defying the system. So, tell me a bit more, and just want to expand a bit more on that whole attitude.
Absolutely. People can try and define what you should be, who you should be, how you should act. I grew up in a very conservative Catholic family, and I was told, you follow the rules, have a curfew, go to school, learn the traditional way, go off to school, find a mate, get married, have kids, have the house and white picket fence. For some reason, and I choose these words, I never fit in to that mold. I was always referred to as the black sheep in the family because I broke the rules. I extended the curfews. Someone would say, go this direction. I always went another direction, sometimes got into trouble, but I needed to explore my own identity. And I chose an attitude that wasn't, my mom might say defiant, but it was more creative. And I just always had that creativity. And so I determined it wasn't in the books. It was never a rule. It was just my choice. And that's what I call an attitude. And I like to use the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s to help me chunk things. So I always think of it as A for attitude, and then that lends to the B's and C's, which is, be the person you truly are meant to be versus who people tell you to be.
I love that. I just love how you talk about attitude, Mo. I want to get into a bit of your earlier challenges that ignited this beautiful, just fantastic health and wellness leader. Tell me about that.
Well, it's kind of cliche, but it was the day I was born because I was born a premature twin. My mom found out the night before, having gained only 14 pounds, she was having 2. So I was just under 3 pounds, and I was born first, but I was the premature one. And I was told then that I would have difficulty in life, and I wouldn't be strong, and I wouldn't be, I'd be late in learning everything, and I'd probably be sick throughout my life, poor immune system, etc. So I was always determined, and I guess I learned that instinctively because nobody told me how to do it. In fact, I was told so many times what I couldn't do. And right to my whole occupation, I said to my guidance counselor, when my traits came out as adventure, travel, teaching, that I wanted to be a fitness teacher, and I wanted to travel the world and teach fitness and make a great living, and I was told I couldn't do that. So that seemed to be a trend that went through my whole life, what I was told I couldn't do. Same thing in university, there's no such career. It was only until my present boss at Good Life said, this is your opportunity to create what you want, not what you're told you can or cannot do. So I listened to my gift, which was my gut instinct, which is my gift. It sort of that internal NASA that guides me. So I've just always taken that different road, and it's just shaped my life. I've now looked towards the challenges as opportunities to listen, because typically those challenges I'm supposed to hear versus look at the challenge as, this is going to be a challenge. I don't want to deal with it. and take the easy road out. So I tend not to do that.
I love that. I love how you listen and you're in tune with that intuitive voice, that NASA. I love that. What was it like for you in high school? I mean, you're a gifted speaker now, you're a gifted teacher. What was it like?
Like you, Gerry, I had the gift of gab in school, and I was always told to be quiet, and I was punished for it. I stood in the hall a lot. And my actually high school teacher and my grade 7 and 8 teacher said, if you actually stop talking and listen more, you actually might get somewhere. And then I always say, well, look at me today. I actually use my gift of the gab to communicate. I am a teacher by natural instinct. So communication for the C, connector. I only realized recently that I have a natural gift to connect people to people, people to opportunity, people to purpose. And then beyond that, it's the contribution. So I have 3 C's.
I love that. I love how you found your voice at such a young age. It's outstanding. Mo, I want to get into who your greatest teachers were.
That's a really great question. There's so many. I can choose a number of them. I guess the first one is my mother. As much as because we are a lot alike, very passionate, very entrepreneurial, very much workaholics. We tended to butt heads, but she was my greatest teacher. She taught me a lot of good lessons, and then she taught me a lot of life lessons that I chose to challenge, and through that challenge, develop my own identity. She shaped me for what truly health is. She would call me on task on things such as, you can exercise all the time, but if you don't fuel your body, and that was during the phase where, all girls in high school wouldn't eat because they wanted to be thin. So she would really help me understand that you have to fuel your body to move your body. And she was very much into nutrition. She wouldn't as a family, we ate breakfast together, we ate dinner together. I couldn't leave for school without taking my vitamins. She was a great teacher for teaching me nutrition. And through her dislike for fitness, she helped me help her. So I became a teacher early in life. That was my first teacher. My second teacher was my phys ed teacher that taught me fitness because I was not a natural athlete. And because of that, I was cut from every team but cheerleading. But I decided, because I wanted to be on certain teams, that I would just keep showing up even though I got cut. One team in particular I wanted to be on, which is the volleyball team. I decided I'd just keep showing up for practice because at some point someone was going to get injured or sick, and then I'd be ready to go. And for gymnastics, I was accepted on the team only because I was the hardest person in terms of training. I trained the hardest. I never missed a practice. I wasn't at all that good. But my phys ed teacher, who was in charge of gymnastics, accepted me on the team because I was the hardest worker. But I had to learn fitness to get strong. So she taught me how to run, how to do push-ups, sit-ups, exercises that I came to appreciate today. And she has been my mentor. I always thought she was the coolest phys ed teacher for how she taught people fitness and health. Not to mention she married the football coach and phys ed teacher, so I thought that was kind of cool. And then my teachers, in addition to that, were the teachers I've met in the fitness industry, in the healthcare industry. They include my mentors, Helen Vanderberg, Lexi Williams, who helped to start the fitness industry worldwide. Helen is a member of the Sports Hall of Fame here in Canada. She was somebody I met intuitively before I met her personally. I followed the Canadian synchronized swimming team because I love the sport, not because I did it. And I ended up competing to place on the team at University of Western Ontario in synchronized swimming because of my passion for what Helen created. And that was in the 80s. And then in 1990, I actually met Helen Vanderberg, and now we're best friends today. So she's been a great teacher. And then I'd have to say that I'm privileged to work with a number of great leaders at Good Life Fitness and CanFit Pro, my colleagues that I call great teachers who teach me something about myself or something about fitness, health, the world at large every single day.
I love that. I absolutely love it. In your profile, you share how you have this passion to inspire and connect others. What does that feel like, that intention to inspire others?
Is to be responsible. And I love that word because the root words are response able, to have the ability to respond to my customers, my audience, those people who want to build and take this profession forward and mature it, change it, evolve it. So I feel like I'm just opening the door perhaps and creating a path for them to initially follow. So there's responsibility there. To show them and teach them, because that's my true purpose, is to teach and serve, and then to just give them that path and let them run with it. And my legacy is to see the industry grow to truly be recognized as a profession, to be accredited, to be seen as important as any other member of the healthcare team. And I've believed in that since I became a physiotherapist. I think the reason I became a physiotherapist was I really wanted to help teach people how to move their bodies, how to exercise, and there was no career for it. So I went the traditional route and worked to that end of the health spectrum where they lost their health and freedom of movement, so I could help them get it back. But interesting enough, I ended up leaving the sick side of health and moved to the proactive side. So, but that's truly where I want to serve, is to help the generations that come after me to take it to the next level. And it's, the places that this profession can go. So I just feel like I'm a spark plug that I can help, create that same thing in others.
I love that. There's no doubt that you are a spark plug for sure. Mo, you're making a global difference. It's another reason why I'm so honored to create this cover story. Share with me the bigger difference that you see making in the world.
Biggest contribution so far. I have a knack for taking human movement and turning it into a program designed to help people move better and to create a level of fitness and ability so that they can move better longer and live their true purpose in their life, which I strongly believe the root at all true life purpose is you have to be healthy. So I have that ability to watch people, see what they need, or generally speaking, I can take a population or a group and I can create programs for them to participate in. So it's being able to create and to then inspire people to want to participate in those programs. So that's kind of the program design side. The other side that I hear a lot is my ability to make people feel better about themselves, motivate them, or create an environment upon which they can motivate themselves to then take action.
Mo, you're an inspiration for so many, and I want you to share with listeners, how are you inspiring Mo every day?
Oh, wow. How I inspire Mo every day? Well, I have my affirmations written on the mirror in bright Post-its, highlighted words, because some days I'm in a hurry, so I just look at the words. My practice is to say those affirmations, which are just statements in the positive with emotion, powerful words like I am, I can, I will. I say them out loud. I see them at night. I don't always say them out loud because I do try to settle my brain at night, but I just sort of glance at them. But in the morning, I look at those and it sets me in my state. I have a lot of love in my life. My husband and I have, it's kind of like a date in the bathroom because we have the his and her thing, his side, my side. We get ready for work together. And so, he kind of adores me. So I get a lot of love, hugs, kisses. And, some days you kind of need that. And I give the same to him. So we kind of have our romantic moments in the morning, which is really kind of cool. And it's those, I'm talking romantic moments, like a hug, an embrace. Have a great day, honey. He's off, I'm off. Then we just go our separate ways.
There's no question the world is changing, Mo. Share with listeners, why does the world need difference makers, specifically in health and wellness, now more than ever?
Holy smokes. Well, obviously what we're doing is not working. It's actually, the epidemic of obesity is just larger than what anyone has ever imagined. So today, the present practices, knowledge is just not working. huge opportunity for everyone who cares about the health of the planet, which I guess you have to look at the chicken or the egg. Is it the health of the people that, will change and influence the health of the planet, or vice versa? But it really is, it's dramatic and it's sad. Some days I really struggle at trying to understand what we need to do differently, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I believe my part is how I show up. And my part is not showing up when people are watching, but what I practice every day, being that role model. And it is weird how people say, oh, I can't believe that when, even when you're not on, you're eating healthy and you da 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 da. And I'm like, really? Isn't that what we're all supposed to be doing? So I really believe it starts with every person playing their role. And my goal is to play that role as big as possible so that more people will follow. It's kind of like recycling. If everybody does a little part, then at least we'll head in the right direction. But that's, I don't think it's going to be enough. We really have to make some dramatic changes, and it needs to be right up to, what we do in our local communities. I've made a relationship with the new mayor of London. He invited me to go for a run next week. I have no time. I'm going, because that impact I'll have in 30 minutes running with him will be far greater than me writing a letter to the city about how to create more active opportunities to get moving in London. The same with, our new prime minister. It's nice that he's in that generation that appreciates fitness and health, but it's us calling him to task on some of those things. So I feel like it starts with me, and then my ability to influence, I need to maximize that bigger than ever before.
I love that. You're being the change that you want to see in the world. And that's interesting because there's so many products and tools and, get healthy quick.
That's a good point. Well, it's the trends. Everybody tries to find the next trendy, hot commodity. And, in saying that, Gerry, you really hit on a key point. I believe that for us to change the world in terms of the health of the population, we have to actually go back to the basics. And we have to make participating in fitness simpler. We have to break down the barriers, which might be the bricks and mortar of a fitness facility, and even just show people how to move from their couch to the next room and do that between commercials instead of sit on their butt watching their favorite show at night. I love watching some TV. It's my date time with my husband, but I get up at commercials and move, and I don't do it all night long. But we have to simplify it. We have to go back to the basics, and we have to all agree to be consistent on that, because it's also very confusing out there. I'm confused, and I'm a fitness professional. And at least I know how to, look through all the forest and to see the trees and understand it, but most people don't. They just say, I'm out of here tomorrow, and they do nothing. So we have to simplify it. But it does take self-control, because as a fitness professional who's, loves the trends and loves to be trend setting, you always think it has to be bigger and more difficult, but it doesn't. Going back to the basics is the best in the end, in most cases. It's just how do you make that exciting for people to want to engage in?
Mo, you seem to really resonate with this energy of Defyeneurs and everyday people doing extraordinary things. Tell me about that, this energy of everyday people.
Well, you said it. It's a ripple effect. And if we can excite, if every one of us could excite one person every day, the one thing, the one person that we can touch every day to identify in them the talent or strength that they bring to the world, and they pay it forward and do the same, you know what? It just circles around the world. If we look at it that way, it's like a flashlight. If you shine it out there and show one person the way, that light will illuminate and eventually come back and shine on your back. And the other can be true too, instead of cutting people down or stabbing them in the back, talking about them negatively about what they're not doing, but finding that. And I truly love to do that. I love finding the nugget in everybody. And I just enjoy that. I think it's my desire to be a detective. I love to find what it is that moves them or moves them in emotional ways and identify it, because sometimes they don't realize it until they're told, and then they're appreciative of it. So I am told that, I get on the phone with friends and they may be having one of those days, and yet I speak to them and they always say, "Oh my gosh, you made me feel so much better. I'm ready to take on the day." And I'm like, "Well, you're welcome. I'm not sure what I did, but it's just acknowledging them."
I love that. Mo, the detective. Mo, you've done some really great things. You've been published and you're contributing continually worldwide. So share with us some of these contributions.
Well, the big one is I always say yes to contributing to my community, to the world, when I'm invited to participate on anything from an interview to a corporate talk to a warm up at a golf tournament to, writing a quote. I take up those opportunities, and surprisingly, I'm not sure why, other people they're afraid to do that. They might say the wrong thing. They might not have the answers. They might make a fool of themselves. Oh my gosh, I've stood up on stage and fallen off, but I get out there. And I love it. It's the connecting part. It's the connecting. It's the communicating. And I always feel like if I have that opportunity to just touch one life by going to that golf tournament, doing a warm up, and it moves someone to start exercise to be a better golfer, then I've done it. And I don't do it to check the accolades. I do it because it truly is my purpose. And I always feel happier when I know I've truly contributed at the end of the day. And I recognize that as a kid. I was always the one. If my mother was looking for me, she'd look for the group huddling somewhere, and she knew that I'd be somehow involved in that group. So it was always more than just myself. It was always about bringing other people together. So, someone asked me, what's your next thing? I said, well, it'd be neat to write a book because you can affect more people at one time. It's a passive type of communication. And then I go write a book. So I seem to attract what I think about. There is a law about that, isn't there? What you think about expands, and the law of attraction. I love the stage. I don't see myself as an actress, never did, because I'm kind of afraid of that at the same time. But I love to be in front of people and show them a way, show them a path. My vehicle happens to be fitness and health. So I'm very proud to stand in front of a group and show them whether it's simple steps to eat better, have more energy, sleep better, move their body, be healthier, leaner, stronger. Bring it on.
Well, you're certainly bringing it to this issue of Defyeneurs. So, share with us. You're the lead cover story, and you're really excited about the top 50 health and wellness tips. Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know that Defyeneurs portrays everyday people who do extraordinary things, and I know that your contributors will have powerful messages. It's the collective we in this issue that's going to create massive impact, because I always believe that facts tell, but the stories sell. And through the stories are the powerful messages, and streamlined through that are the facts that will help move people. And they'll be the insights for the new minds to curate and to respond to, and to give hope to, and to give confidence to. Because growing up in a profession that really we have the opportunity of shaping, it's a relatively young profession. When I was a kid, fitness for my parents was a luxury. It wasn't an everyday practice like brushing your teeth and eating 3 square meals a day. Today it is. So for the generation that gets to take it to the next level, they have an incredible opportunity to really expand on what we've just started. And so I believe that this issue is going to be really powerful, and it's going to be the school. It's going to be the school of health, wellness, fitness, and everything that encapsulates, which is way beyond just those 3 words or terms.
That's extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary, Mo. And yes, I agree, this is going to be one of the most epic, inspiring tools. Mo, my last question for you, it always touches me, this question. Years from now, when you and I are no longer on this earth, I want you to share with us, what will they say about Mo Hagan? How did she live her life?
Mo walked her talk. which is kind of interesting because walking and talking, I have a gift for both. Mo walked her talk. She didn't ask anyone to do what she didn't do herself. She lived her core values, honesty, integrity, happiness, peak attitude, personal fitness, trust, caring, generous to share her knowledge with the hope that it would inspire others to be able to live, to be the spark for others to live their true purpose, even if they didn't know what it was at the time. That I lived a full life and I accomplished everything that I set out to do. My family and friends would know that I have lots of ambition to live, and they also know that I'm very loyal to the point where sometimes I don't always live what I want to be living every single day. But I feel it's finding the balance between responsibility and serving those that I work for, as well as being my true own self, living my purpose, and finding that balance that creates the happiness. And I'm trusting that you and I can look down and they can say she lived her true life purpose, serving others, but also served her true purpose.
Mo Hagan, I love it. The cover story to one of the most epic issues of Defyeneurs, the top 50 health and wellness tips. Thank you so much for making such a difference to this issue and to the world.